MudRunner, Mount Logmore. So, we've got some news on the Charlie Kirk shooting. At minimum, the guy that shot and killed Charlie Kirk was right leaning. That was because he was part of an organization that is basically far right trolls. So, yeah. Not on the left. He's not necessarily specifically a Republican, but he was right leaning. Or possibly very, very far right. Far right, more far right than most people. Okay? The organization that he was a part of, one of the things that these people believed was that Charlie Kirk was too moderate. Yeah. No, Charlie Kirk was a far right person. And he was part of a group, and the shooter was part of a group that thought Charlie Kirk was moderate. Insane. Anyway, yeah, so all of those people, attacking the left, saying, it was the left that did this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it wasn't the left. Okay, so where do we gotta go? We're starting at the lower right. We have to go towards the upper left. Okay, lumber mills are not lumber mills. Sawmills are in the upper left. We have scavenge sites, probably have a few log stations. We appear to have asphalt around a good number of the map. As I see, the Chevrolet Bison is the default, one of the default trucks again. Oh, another thing. So even the right-wing politicians, like immediately after the shooting, without any information that has come in, no information had come in at the time, they were already attacking the left and blaming the left with no information about the shooter. Most of the shooters that have hit big name targets recently or done the craziest things have been on the right side so far. The guy that took a bunch of guns and ammo and was going to Barack Obama's house, yeah, that was the guy on the right. The guy that the guy that shot Trump's ear, that was the guy on the right. The guy that tried to kill Trump by taking a gun and going onto Mar-a-Lago, that was the guy on the right. The guy that took a bunch of guns and ammo to FBI headquarters and tried to, got in a firefight and died by FBI. That guy was a guy on the right. But the guy that shot and killed Charlie Kirk was not necessarily a Republican, but he was definitely on the right side. It's really interesting looking into this because, again, he belonged to a group of far right trolls who didn't think Charlie Kirk was far right enough. He thought Charlie Kirk, or that organization thought Charlie Kirk was too moderate, right? Now, on top of that, a couple of bullet casings were basically just generally against fascism. Now, as far as I know, there is no information linking him to the group Antifa. But he was against fascism, which is part of the reason suspected that he shot Charlie Kirk. I don't know. I don't know these guys' logic as to why they do things. But that's what the evidence has been showing so far. Anywho, MudRunner. And there was a big argument and kerfuffle with me and my mom yesterday because my stepdad basically sent me a text message, with the whole right-wing cultist mentality forefront and center. Like, I'm not going to read exactly what it said because it's just it's too much to go into. Let's put it that way. It's too much to go into at all the various points at why he is wrong. But I think I need to restart this map. Seeing some of the randomization going on here, I do not like the randomization that I see. Okay, anyway. One of the ways that my stepdad argues. Okay, this is much better. There's a Western Star immediately visible on the map. We can do this. So, one of the ways he attacks is if I bring up a quote from somebody, he'll immediately go, he'll immediately have a reactionary defense, which is that's out of context. That was taken out of context. That was taken out of context by the liberal media. And he seems to always call it mainstream media, even though I don't really watch mainstream media. Like I don't typically watch CNN or ABC or CBS or MSNBC or anything like that. And he'll do that. He won't check his sources. he will basically tell me that he won't look something up, and when I ask why he won't look something up, he'll go, because I don't have to. Like, that's how you find out whether you're right or wrong, dude. So he's just going to sit there in the wrong claiming he's right, which is basically what he does. He is that pigeon walking over the chessboard, knocking over the pieces, and shitting all over the board. And now, unfortunately, he has basically brainwashed my mom into doing some of the same things. Because she pulled that was taken out of context with me about a video that I was trying to show her of a whole bunch of things that Charlie Kirk has said. That was taken out of context. Well, I have started going through those quotes one by one and going into the videos of the podcasts, the interviews, the speeches that Charlie Kirk was in. The entire segments regarding that area of the conversation, I have been watching those one by one, going down the list of things that he said. Okay? And I'm going to say right now, a tiny couple of things so far have been out of context. They have been out of context. Couple of things. But here's the important thing. They are not so far out of context to make what he actually said that much better. It's basically just as bad what he actually said. Okay? He did believe. Okay. One of the things on the list was that he said that he believed that gay people should be stoned to death. That was taken out of context. Here's the real context. Okay? He was talking about Leviticus, that it says that if a man should lie with another man, that he should be stoned to death. The thing is that right afterwards, he said, you know, it's part of God's perfect plan. You say that okay, when you bring that up, you say it's God's plan, right? That's God's plan. He said it's God's perfect plan, which was an unnecessary word in that statement. That was something that Tucker put, or not Tucker, that was something that Charlie put in himself, right? Which means that he agrees with the previous statement. So even though he said it, but did not say it directly as coming from him, he immediately afterwards agreed basically with the Bible, right? But that's what he was talking about immediately before, which was part of the Bible. So Charlie Kirk believed that gay people, or men that sleep with other men, or have slept with another man, should be stoned to death. You can go look it up. He says that part about Leviticus, and then, like in the next breath, in the next sentence, says it's all, you know, God's perfect plan. And again, the reason he threw perfect in there was because he believed that. So that is just as bad. And when it comes to the Bible, one thing I'm going to mention here is the Bible has been manipulated. Oh, I can just drive this F-150 up here? Okay. Okay, we have the skidder unlocked immediately. Oh, sorry. The Bible. The King James Bible. The king had his transcribers alter a number of things in the Bible. Okay? The King James Bible and all of the derivatives that came from the King James have been politically altered by King James's order. You want to look for a Bible that has not been altered or has been altered less than the others, you need to go to the Bible that was in existence right before the King James. The one that it was transcribed from. And you need to find a direct translation or look to see if there is a direct translation of that Bible. Because there were words that were changed because the king did not like the sound of them. Here's the thing. If it was God's perfect plan, his plan would not need to be altered in text by some politician, by some king of the time. Anyway, this whole thing has been really frustrating and sad, seeing my mom fall for these types of things. I have seen my mother fall for various types of scams, and it's been like really hard seeing her fall for such bullcrap. Here's the okay. She almost fell for one of those Nigerian scammers. She was talking to him on the phone. She believed he was an oil rig worker. You know, like one of those common scams that they were doing at the time. And it's just there came a point where he was trying to get her to send him money. All of his social media pages were basically that they were basically bare bones. A couple things were obviously edited. Very recent. Let's not forget that one. That one's a big red flag. Yeah, so unfortunately my mom is very affected by suggestion, and then she will just believe those suggestions. with the tiniest amount of manipulation from things that she wants to be true. And unfortunately, there's a ton of nasty people out there that have taken those things that she wants to be true and have found a way to use those to manipulate. This kind of look like the first place in Michigan. Okay, there's a garage up there. I need to recover this. Yeah, and she now basically reactionarily defends my stepdad, who is like ultra MAGA, like conspiracy theorist, doesn't double check to make sure like he believes like what is actually going on. Like he just believes it by like word of mouth, assuming it's something either he wants to believe or, you know, that it's not something like it's if it's obviously something from like a right-wing politician or certain media figureheads, he'll just automatically believe those. Like, he won't listen to them carefully, he won't double check their, like, what if they're saying, he won't double check what they're saying, whether it is true or not. He probably basically skipped a full, like, major thing. I'm trying to play and like talk at the same time, and it's not really working. Okay. Here is how I discern whether something is true or not. You know, whether somebody that is telling me things, whether or not I should follow what they say generally or not. And I'm going to do it from the political spectrum here. Now, I get shown news and stories about, I'd say about 50-50. When I just randomly browse through YouTube shorts or get some sort of, I got gas in my throat. Ugh. YouTube shorts or on Facebook. Well, not really Facebook. I don't really look at Facebook anymore. I guess it's pretty much just YouTube, yeah. I usually get shown something when it comes from non-mainstream media, like something that's not on, like, TV. I tend to get shown things about 50% on the left and 50% on the right. Thing is what's interesting is YouTube profiles you and shows you things based on what you watch. The problem is it will also promote things that you've watched before. Right? So according to my profile, and according to the things that I've watched before, I should be regarded as on the left according to YouTube. The problem is I get shown about 50% of the time stuff on the left and 50% of the time stuff on the right. So what this tells me is that YouTube heavily leans towards showing people stuff that's on the right side. That is, if in fact they use algorithms to profile people and show them things based on what they watch normally. Anyway, with that out of the way, there is one side that attacks the other side more often, like unnecessarily attacking, insulting, aggression, political violence, actual violence. And what I have seen is that the majority of people that are doing those things are people on the right side. Okay? I tend to not listen to the side that does that kind of stuff, more to the other side. Now, in addition, there is one side calling and enacting violations to our own country's laws more than the other side. And that is the side that I tend to not listen to, which is the side on the right. And for me, even bigger than that, which is just a matter of simple logic. Okay? I'm going to give you a simple piece of logic here of how I base this up. When there is a contradiction, one side is wrong, right? When there is a direct contradiction, one of those sides of the contradiction is incorrect. That's a 3. That's an 8. One of those two is wrong. Okay? Now, one political party has drastically more contradictions against others of their own party. And that is the side on the right. If they are wrong even amongst themselves, way more than the other party, then that is a party I do not tend to listen to. Okay? That is a party to listen carefully to watch out for. Right? Because there's some shady shit going on. But the level of contradictions, the level of contradictions on the side on the right was so ridiculously numerous at one point that I was literally hearing probably 3 or 4 different contradictions within their own party every week. Every single week. One Republican politician would say one thing, whereas another Republican politician would say another thing that contradicts the first thing. Both can't be true. And that was going for a massively, just unusually long time, where those contradictions were almost a daily occurrence. When it comes to politicians on the left, you actually have to look for those. I'm not saying they don't happen. I'm saying they're pretty rare. It is hard for me to find those contradictions. When I sit down there at my computer and specifically look for them. I actually have to work to find them. Typically, when it comes to the Republican Party, I don't. I don't have to. 5 minutes, boom, found them. And that is why I am not a Republican. Okay? And just on that basis alone, I can confidently say that Republicans are wrong way more than Democrats. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Democrats are great. They're all 100% honest, They're not. There's shitty people on the Democratic side, too. But if we were to put the number of people that are on the Democratic side that are shitty and the number of people on the Republican side that are shitty, the Democrats would be on top of the Republicans because the scale would have fucking collapsed and everybody would have fallen down. Republicans first. It's just, it's not even really debatable for me because I've seen too much of it. Alright. I need to unlock watch points. So, we are coming to a little bit of a close when it comes to MudRunner, as this is the second to last time I will be driving a standard map when it comes to progress in the game. I don't remember if I... Yep, okay. Puppy is in. I'm gonna get some coffee. I need it. Alrighty. Okay. Oh no, 52 liters, whatever shall I do? kind of sketch, but worked fine. Guess I have a garage to visit. Hey, wait, I thought performance of the vehicle wasn't impacted on standard. Getting another phone call. Don't know who. I'm not answering. I don't know who you are. Get the fuck right off the street. Yeah, so, in short, my mom's brainwashed. Charlie Kirk was indeed that guy that the people I watch were saying he was. After, watching some of Charlie Kirk's, not clips, they were longer than clips, they were entire segments of podcasts and speeches and interviews. And I'm just going through these and I'm like, yeah, dude was a scumbag. Driving this truck with 9 points of health. Shooting fireworks out the cab. Much better. Okay, now I can go wreck this thing again. Yeah. Here's another thing to consider. One of the things Charlie Kirk said in actually the speech. Actually, I'm not sure if it was that speech, but one of the things Charlie Kirk had said that sticks out in my mind is that he believed that people dying by gun violence is an acceptable cost to have the Second Amendment. Interesting. I don't think I can get to this checkpoint with this truck. That's pretty steep. Yeah, this particular watch point would be a one way. There it is, right there. Yeah, I can't get that unless there is a long slope with very sparse trees. And that looks like a one-way trip for this truck. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to park this beast. We're going to go ahead and deck this thing out. But we're going to trick it out. We're not going to bother with the scout trailer. The only scout trailer that's actually really useful is the only one that's needed, which is the 1 point of logs. Makes me wonder if this one like goes all the way up and around. Oh, and on top of that, apparently Zach, otherwise known as Asmongold, has been getting people fired from their jobs. Like, not just the people that are like making fun of Charlie Kirk's death, but the people who are just in general happy that Charlie Kirk is now gone. Not because of the violence, but because he's gone, right? People who are, you know, like that's kind of over the line there. If it was somebody that was actively celebrating the violence part of what happened, then yeah, get those people out of work. They shouldn't be doing that publicly. I mean, they shouldn't be doing that at all, but, we're not exactly as civilized as we make ourselves out to be. But the people who are just happy that they no longer have to hear him or of him at some point, those people should not be punished for that. There have been plenty of people on the right who were basically attacked the same way. So either this is some sort of revenge or something. But usually people are exposed and fired or whatever for being just a generally horrible person. But the problem is that Charlie Kirk was a genuinely horrible person. He did not seem like that to people who were casual observers, people who were just, ignorant of what he was actually saying, people who did not pay attention to what he was actually saying, or people that basically just went along with whatever the party is going along because of tribal mentality. Anyway, I'm going to go into that at some point. And basically track down a bunch of stuff Charlie Kirk has done and said. And I'm going to show that, yeah, he was not a good person. That is easily doable. With what I have seen and what I have researched, that is easily doable. Oh god, is that where the watch point is? Oh shit. Let's hope the Ferd can do it. Follow this little underground ridge here. Okay, nothing new. Where's the other Ferd? Go ahead and stop this. And this one is in better position. Right, I keep on going down the path of bringing this up, but I keep forgetting. So Donald Trump has, in wake of Charlie Kirk's death, or I should say the Trump administration, I don't know if he's actually doing it, but they have said that they are setting up basically they're scanning our social media now, and I mean they have been, but they're scanning our social media for one specific thing. There is now a group being put together, political part of the government, that is scanning our social media specifically for those who are not just mocking or making fun of Charlie Kirk's death, with a little bit of dark humor, which, while is frowned upon, is part of the First Amendment. It is free speech to voice your opinion about that. Now, the administration is scanning social media accounts to imprison people or deport them. That is what they have threatened now. This is pure blown fascism in every sense of the word. This is not an exaggeration. This is not hyperbole. This is actual fascism. If you are not a far-right MAGA person, then my recommendation is to get some sort of self-defense equipment. Okay? Because things are getting bad. The person that shot Charlie Kirk was at minimum, somebody who was on the right. Okay? Not necessarily a Republican, but definitely conservative. And this is gone. And there's so many paths that I've gone down and not finished. Charlie Kirk said that some deaths are, there should be a cost of some deaths if it means that we get to keep the Second Amendment. Now here's the thing, okay? I do not agree with that. I do not agree with Charlie Kirk. With what happened to Charlie Kirk. One of the problems is that Charlie Kirk agrees with what happened to Charlie Kirk. He has literally become a part of his own rhetoric. He is an example of his own rhetoric now. That's not making fun of him. What's the old phrase? It is what it is. It's truth. That is the truth of this whole situation. Okay, so we've gotten the watch points. We've gotten the garage. We've unlocked all the trucks. all that's left is to refit the trucks and get the logs to the lumber mills. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna bother with the scouts. I mean, I'll get them out of the way, but scouts are no longer needed. Or, well, almost certainly no longer needed. They might be on standby to deliver fuel or repair. Okay, that has a long log setup. Okay. Stop by the garage, and we are going to keep on trucking. Go around, hit the log station, and then we'll see which path we can come back on. I don't know if this truck's going to be able to do it. Now I remember, he was a member of the Groypers. The shooter was a member of the Groypers, which are primarily right-wing trolls. Okay, this truck can't do it. Confirmed. Truck is already absolutely stuck. Oh my god. Which means this truck is not going to be any help. Get this out of here. This truck is the same truck as the other truck. This truck's not going to be any help. Get this truck out of here. This is the only one that can do it. So that's 3 trips. So yeah, this appears to be the better log station. One down here is probably fine for Western Star. This one here would probably also be... You know, this one's the worst one. Because you have to go through the water. Either that or find some way to turn around. Yeah, this is the best one here. Yeah, when something political happens that's major, and when some turmoil happens within, you know, my family, I have to get it off my chest, especially when a whole bunch of people are just spouting misinformation, are angry for no fucking reason, or angry at the wrong things. They're just reactionary, and they will automatically blame who they hate. And I'm here to set some of that straight. Which is what I did today. I don't buy into to so many conspiracy theories. 2020 election was stolen. No, it wasn't. Jewish space lasers. No. That's not a thing. Schools are giving kids sex changes. No. They can barely afford paper and pens for their students, and sometimes they don't even have the money to provide those. How are they affording sex changes? Like, first of all. That's not a thing. There hasn't been... Okay, here's the thing. Where are the cases of that happening? Where are the cases that students were getting hormone therapy from schools, or that they were getting sex changes from the schools? Where are the actual cases? Not just the Republican rhetoric and talking points. Where are the actual cases? There isn't a single case of that happening anywhere. That would be national news and not just on the Republican side. Name one school that was involved. One. Name one kid who got a sex change by the school or paid for by the school. Name fucking one. You can't do it. Because it hasn't happened. That's one of those things that would be big enough that if it had happened, I'd have actually heard about it and not just, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing because I say they're doing it. No, they're not. Should have put a waypoint. This might be... You get a Western Star, this might be one of the easiest maps in the entire game. Yeah. Why did it detach? What? Get off of me, fly. Holy shit. Is it... Go to Asmund Gold's room where you belong. Hang out with the other pestilence. I don't even know why it detached. I didn't manually detach it, it did that on its own. That was really fucking strange. Hey, it's all a one-way trip. Yeah, one of the things my mom said really pissed me off, actually. I have allowed you to watch the things you want to watch. You have allowed. Interesting. You do realize that allowing goes both ways, right? I have allowed everybody around me to keep on living by not going fucking crazy. Like, everybody allows everybody else to do things, except when they don't. And that's when they become fucking scumbags. Like, basically, just about all of the Republican Party. Like, right now, Donald Trump is threatening part of the First Amendment of the Constitution. Yeah. Where was all those calls against the dark humor when a nut job went into the Pelosi household and bashed in Paul Pelosi's head in with a hammer? Where were the calls against that violence from the Republican Party? I saw so many people making jokes about it, celebrating that it had happened from people on the right. They're fucking hypocrites. All of them. My stop. This is my stop. I didn't put the parking brake on. Why was the parking brake on? Get my candy up here. Here's what I'm going to do. Mark the fuel station. And mark the log station. Quite frankly, because it's such a straight track that's easily identifiable as being asphalt, I don't really need to drive on anything else. Barely miss that. Trucks often have slow response time in MudRunner. Okay. You know what? I do have a conspiracy theory. I do have one. But it's one that I would bet money on. You know, if I had it. And that is part of what the administration is doing. By ruining farmers. By taking illegal immigrants from the farms, is they are basically ruining the farmers' businesses of farming so that the farmers have to sell their land. And the people that are most likely going to be buying them up are actually going to be corporations that own food companies like Kroger, for example. So not only are they going to be in charge of, you know, getting the food, packaging it, and delivering it to different stores, they're also going to take control of growing the food. So they have even more control of what the prices of food are going to be, and are going to basically be able to hold the majority of our entire nation hostage by forcing us to pay even more out the ass for just common everyday foods. And they will have more influence over our political system as well. Now, I don't know if that's what is going to happen. I think that is a high possibility. And what is going on right now is with ICE, with all these deportations, the lack of illegal immigrants into these farms to pick the food, well, the locals, you know, the people that live here in this country don't want to pick the food. They don't want to pick the food for such abysmal wages. They don't want to stand outside in the sun for 8 hours for an abysmal wage, like the illegal immigrants were willing to do. And what's going to end up happening, what is happening is the farmers, there's crops rotting in the fields right now at many different farms. The food's not being picked because they just don't have the manpower to do it. So that's going to cause food prices to go up. Farmers are, like, they've already been, like, screwed over so badly from just this one thing alone. And another, I forget what it was, there was another thing that was in place to help farmers who are struggling. I think that's gone now because of the Trump administration. So they're going to be forced to sell. Right? That is what's going in play right now. The conspiracy is, the actual conspiracy is beyond that. It's that the Trump administration is doing this, and eventually food producers, or I should say food packagers and delivery for stores, those are going to be the people that are the corporations that actually end up with the farm land. And then they're in prime position to screw people over more. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, that's like months down the line from when I actually streamed this, so was I right? Was I right, or are the majority of American farmers still in business? Looks like we're getting another stream today, boys. Get off of my drinking bottle, you fucking fly. God damn, I've killed like 20 of these fucking things today. What stinks so goddamn bad in this trailer that it has attracted a fucking swarm of flies? I have been killing these things left and right. Where the fuck are they coming from? There's no open door. There's no open window. How are they even getting in? My God. I mean, yesterday there was a heavy rain, like a sudden flash flood type of heavy rain. It was minor flooding. And we dumped the septic tank. The thing is, though, like, it's been cool, like, it rained and has been cooler. Rain dampens down the smell of things by, you know, taking all those particles out of the air and making other things smell as well. Like, other things smell more that didn't smell as much before. So, like, all throughout the entire summer, when it was like 100 degrees outside, like, it's getting cooler now. It's September now. it's like 10, 20 degrees cooler than it's been during the summer. And this is the worst I've ever seen these flies in here this year. You're telling me the hotter temperatures didn't make the shit dump in the septic tank stink like way more during the summer? Why does it stink so much more now? I don't get it. I don't get why there's such a fly trouble. I don't get how the flies got in. So many. Or there has been so many. I've killed a lot of them. There's only a couple flying around right now. It kind of reminds me of the trouble we were having doing things when leaving California. Now, both my mom and my stepdad believed it was like somehow the devil was involved or something. Well, if that's the case, the only thing that I have been doing to deserve this is somehow the devil was trying to stop me from talking shit about Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump and confronting my mom about her basically massive naivete. Because they're acting as little distractions. So if there is some sort of God thing, religious thing, belief thing, it's the same fucking thing that tried to stop us from doing what we needed to do. Now, one of the things that my stepdad likes to pull when in these conversations, when he is losing an argument, he tends to bring his age into things. I'm older than you, I've lived longer than you, I've seen more than you, I have more experience than you. And now my mom has started pulling the same stuff too. My response to that is, from their reactionary actions and the things that they believe, from what they have seen, my response to that is that they need more experience. They need a lot more experience, if that's what they believe. And skim likely call. Bow, 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 bow. Okay, that's why I clicked on the log trailer. To switch to the log trailer. What does this say? This says log trailer. Somehow it didn't disconnect this time. Yeah, we're getting another stream today, boy. I mean, I'm sorry to be all political about this, but shit's fucked, man. Wondering if I shouldn't start a movie rental service. Make it online. Might be doable. Why go land somewhere so I can shoot you with my soap gun? Here's my soap gun. Okay, confirm there is more than one fly in here right now. I missed them. Almost Tokyo drifting in the semi for a moment. Go across the bridge, turn right, and we should be at the fuel station. I brought the loader just in case I flipped the trailer without flipping the truck. Yeah, we're like right at the end. This was the easiest map. Make sure there's not another garage somewhere. I didn't even go here. Did I unlock the car yet? I want the car. Not suited for off-roading. Yeah, no shit. Especially a Freightliner. Okay. So the Hummer H1 does not appear to be default in any of the maps. Nor does the K9000 forward. And fuck you, Choice Wireless. Speaking of trucks not suited for off-roading, why is the C255 3 stars and the C256 1 star? That's interesting, don't you think? Not sure I saw the C375 during my playthrough either. Or the 260. GMC only appeared on maps it wasn't designed for. Wait, the Ford F-150 appeared on a non-American Wilds map. Yeah, it appeared on, is it the Ridge? The one where I drove the Ford and the Chevy Napco. Oh. Yeah, let's take the C256 out. Curious as to see its capabilities, how well it works in mud. Oh, I might have gotten the fly. I did get the fly. Fuck you, fly, fuck you. Crumple your bitch ass up in a paper towel right in the fucking trash. Long log cart. This is a 1-star truck. How good is this truck if it's just 1 star? That differential lock. Yo. Why is this 1 star? okay, that other truck can't get through here. Okay, we're gonna recover. We're gonna try to pull long logs through. This might be the best one-star vehicle in the entire friggin' game. I'm disappointed I was never given the opportunity to use this truck earlier. Like, it was never just on a map. Look how fast it's going. Holy shit. Why in the hell is this 1 star? This is a 2-star truck, at minimum. Okay, this is my 1 star for hardcore. Probably. If I can get this truck with long logs through there, this is my 1-star truck. Got speed in this mud too. What? Okay, so it can't just... Wait, did I winch the tractor? Yeah, it's not going forward. Still, okay, so it will get stuck in swampy areas, but a little bit of mud and off-road, this thing can handle for 1 star. And the fact that it can haul logs as well, including long logs for 1 star? Are you kidding me? Let's try the same task, but with medium logs. Long logs are probably a bit too much. we have found the one swampy area in the lead up. Yeah, but now that we're up here, okay. Yeah, it's really struggling with the logs. Yeah, I think with this truck is fine with pulling logs, but any mud that resembles like this lighter color, really like gloppy looking slop on top, you have to avoid with this truck. But if it's just, decently hard off-road, this can pull logs through it for 1 star. Why, why, why did I... There's no garage on this map. Why did this truck start with a fuel tank? It started with a fuel cistern for no reason. I guess it all depends if I can hook up the scout trailers to this. I don't think you can. what? I know. I know where to test it. Why just... I don't... You little shit. Having this trailer on just made this harder. I need to be lighter, not heavier. D535 and a K700. I don't know if this is going to be able to get through this mud with the add-on on it. Truck is stuck. Yeah, this is why we need it to not have the attachment. This is exactly why right here. I seem to not be able to pull the front wheels back up. Alright, we tried. But anyway, yeah. Nice. We have completed all the basic maps. So yeah, next time I play MudRunner, we are going to be doing the bog again. Actually, no. We're just going to do Mount Logmore again. You know what? We're going to do the bog. Yeah, we'll do the bog. And what we'll do is... we're going to go after an achievement. And that achievement is to never once during the entire run press the back button. We can't see this map at all next time. We're going to have to take our truck, get it all the way over here, and up this way, up through this swampy area, to the fuel station. Somehow remember where this is. Go all the way up here and then left to the log station. And bring it back. Now, we can do it in one trip. We can. Since the standard log trailer on this thing is a 4-point trailer. So all we have to do is get this up through, all the way up through there to the log station, and then back down to the lumber mill. Without using navigation. The big problem, though, is the lumber mill's location. As the turn, like, you don't just see it from the road. The turn off to it is basically through like hills and mountains and stuff. So basically, before we start, we're going to study the map. And then we're going to restart and go with what we've learned from the map. Yeah, but I think we can do it. I think we can get the achievement accomplished. Or, yeah, Forester. We can do this without Forest. We can get the Forester achievement. Absolutely. Well, that's enough for now. Off to Fortnite. Later.